Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gyan Nagpal. And firstly, I must start by apologizing for not being with you in person. So I'm going to do the next best thing, which is spend a few minutes with you, sharing some of my research and thoughts in the space of talent economics. Hopefully it could prove valuable to the conversation through the day and provide a different perspective for the debate that might follow. The first is there is a strategic tension playing out in boardrooms. We spot this tension in companies we work with, CEOs we meet, board meetings that we facilitate, that we share our research with. And essentially what we're seeing over the last 20 odd years is that there has been a convergence of the global strategy agenda in many parts. Give you a few examples. So take financial strategy as a case in point. The way we raise capital, our access to equity, to float our shares on different stock exchanges, our access to debt, issuing debentures in different parts of the world, different currencies, denominations. Many organizations are starting to use strategies such as this to hedge themselves against currency risk, hedge themselves against globalization and expansion. We see the same convergence of strategy in the technology space. We can buy software in one part of the world and leverage it quite easily across 70, 80, 100 countries that we work in. The same mechanisms can be used. The policies can be similar on technology. We see it on R&D. So product innovation, patents, new breakthroughs can be very, very easily monetized across a global organization and a global economy today. The Apple is a great case in point. Build a great product and it can unlock immense value and make you the richest company in the world in short 10 or 12 years today. So what we're seeing is that board members are looking for more common and more aligned global approaches, global strategies to work. Now the reason I said there's a strategic tension, because there is one part of the global strategic agenda which is not converging, and that part is talent. Now data tells us that 96% of our global talent is domestically anchored. Let me give you the numbers. We have on current count 3.5 billion people in the global workforce that are looking to pursue an economic endeavor when they wake up every morning. They are people who are looking to create value for their organizations, for themselves, for their customers, for their stakeholders, and for the global economy as a consequence. Of this 3.5 billion people, barely 211 million, as per ILO and the UN statistics on labor mobility, barely 211 million currently work in a country they were not born in. Hence, 96% of our talent is going to be domestic, is incredibly localized in nature. They are encircled by local values, local work ethic, local education, language barriers, and several other constrictors that create a domestic orientation within a country's workforce. Another trend I want to talk a little bit about is the shift from the physical to the digital foundations of the global economy. So the current worldview, if you look at the way our policy worldview has been shaped and we look at the way our management toolkit has been shaped, the big inflection point was a very, very distinct and easy to identify 20-year period between 1930 and 1950 where the global economy reshaped itself. Case in point was the global financial crisis of 1929, started on Wall Street but spread as a contagion across many markets on both sides of the Atlantic. And then we had the Second World War, which sort of reshaped global economic ideology into two competing camps, capitalism and socialism, which more or less carved up the global economy and competed for the next 30 or 40 years. And then finally we had the death of colonialism, or at least the start of the end of colonialism around that time, where many new countries were born, new democratic systems, more new governance systems, and a much more decentralized world emerged by 1950. What we're seeing today is no less dramatic. Since 2001, since the last dot-com bubble, we have seen an unprecedented and exponential shift from a physical environment to digital environment. What this means is that boundaries are mattering less and less. We spoke about talent mobility. since 2001, we've seen an explosion in job mobility. So as we're talking about capability and access to capability and unlocking potential across the world, I'd encourage you to put both these dimensions as part of the same future talent equation. Today, talent mobility and job mobility are equally important as strategies for organizations, who are looking to access skills. And if talent is constricted, jobs will be created, or mechanisms to contribute capability on the job side will get created, which help talent contribute, without the physical location mattering. So this shift towards the digital economy can prove devastating to policy, can prove devastating to economies, to organizations, if we don't recognize that we're entering a whole new policy environment. So before I sign off, I hope this has been useful, and the talent economics of the future global workforce can be quite powerful as debate topics, as conversation topics within the community that is assembled here today. I wish you all luck. I wish you a great day, lots of learning and lots of sharing, and I look forward to staying in touch in some shape or form. Thank you very much.